Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Prasad Michael and you're watching Kini News, the show that brings you today's biggest stories. The Mahathir Anwar succession issue keeps cropping up. Are there problems behind the scenes, or is the whole thing being played up by the media? Because controversies basically sell. Let's get it straight from the horse's mouth. With 138 MPs purportedly backing Prime Minister Dr Mahathir Mohamad to serve as Prime Minister until the next general election, many are speculating when the transition to Anwar Ibrahim would take place. However, according to Mahathir, a promise is a promise. Speaking to reporters in Langkawi today, the 94-year-old leader said he will step down after the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation APEC summit in Kuala Lumpur in November. He said, quote, "I'm 94. In a few months, I'll be 95. Mana boleh tahan." Mahathir then joked that some may even want him to stay on for another 2 decades if possible. In 2018, Mahathir signed an agreement to hand over the reins to Anwar as part of an internal Harapan deal. However, no date was set. In December, Mahathir told Reuters in an interview that he would not step down as Prime Minister before the APEC summit in November. Today, Mahathir also blamed the media for being responsible for the drama surrounding the succession plan.
Ini press lah, press seronok sangat. Kalau ada kontroversi baru ada cerita. Jadi bagi press, kalau kita bertumbuh, Anwar dengan saya bertumbuh apa semua, lagi seronok lah cerita.
Tapi tu pemimpin-pemimpin pakatan pun buat kenyataan.
Yalah, pakatan dia orang buat kenyataan, pasal dia tanya, kalau tak tanya dia tak buat kenyataan.
Whether you think the media is responsible or not, there appears to be some resistance to Anwar being made Prime Minister. Whether or not the resistance is relevant is a different matter altogether. Commanding majority support in Dewan Rakyat is vital to become Prime Minister, but according to UMNO Supreme Council member Muhammad Razlan Muhammad Rafi, PKR President Anwar Ibrahim does not even enjoy the full support of his own party. In a statement released on Thursday night, Razlan questioned the legitimacy of Anwar assuming office as the next Prime Minister. He said Anwar even admitted that some PKR MPs have signed the statutory declaration that they did not accept him as the next PM. Razlan's statement comes after Anwar met Prime Minister Dr Mahathir Mohamad in Putrajaya yesterday to discuss the collection of signatures and succession issue. In a media statement after the meeting, Anwar confirmed that there was an effort to collect signatures in support of Mahathir to serve a full term as Prime Minister, involving PAS, a group from UMNO and a small number from PKR. Anwar added that the details surrounding the transition of power is expected to be finalised at the Pakatan Harapan Presidential Council meeting next week. Malaysia has reached its hand out to China as the world works to contain the dangerous COVID-19. Prime Minister Dr Mahathir Mohamad spent half an hour on the telephone with China's Xi Jinping on Thursday in light of the COVID-19 crisis. Mahathir expressed solidarity with China, which is facing one of its toughest challenges in years with the coronavirus outbreak. According to the Foreign Affairs Ministry, the two leaders spoke of mutual understanding and close cooperation to contain and overcome the epidemic, as well as to minimize its impact. The statement also said that Mahathir expressed confidence in every effort being undertaken by President Xi and his government in regard to fighting the spread of the virus. Meanwhile, Xi said that China would take care of Malaysians in the country just as they cared for their own citizens. COVID-19, which is its official name, has claimed close to 1,500 lives, and 99.8% of those deaths occurred in China. Malaysia has 19 cases of COVID-19, 6 Malaysian citizens and 13 Chinese nationals. There is good news after all. 4 of the 13 Chinese nationals have recovered from the disease. 4 Chinese nationals have been discharged from the Sungai Buloh Hospital after being successfully treated for the COVID-19 in a ceremony witnessed by Deputy Health Minister Dr Lee Boon Chye and China's ambassador to Malaysia, Bai Thian. Dr Lee thanked the medical staff at the hospital for a job well done throughout the family's 3-week stay.
For this, I must congratulate the hospital Sungai Buloh, the state pengarah, and also the infectious disease team, including the doctors, the nurses, for a job well done. And regards to the COVID-19 epidemic, we stand solidarity with China this epidemic should not be seen as a single country problem, but it's a problem for the world to be faced together.
Ambassador Mahathir noted that there is hope for those infected and there is no need for panic or fear because the 4 patients who recovered did so without the need for special medication, as their own immune system did all the work.
So this is really not a very fearful disease to feel scary about. So I think here, confidence is very important. Because I see the cases by myself, these 4 Chinese patients, and they do recover by their own immune system. And I know that now in China, the cured and discharged cases already surpass 6,000.
The 6,000 who have recovered in China are from a total of 65,000 cases worldwide. 99% of those cases are from China. Najib and his family have been allowed to inspect the items seized from the properties linked to him. However, Bank Negara could not facilitate the inspection in such a short notice due to security concerns. The prosecution in the 1MDB-linked asset forfeiture suit will file an application for extension of time with regard to the court order allowing former Prime Minister Najib Abdul Razak and his family to inspect items seized in connection with the investigation. The inspection of items, which was scheduled for today, was cancelled on security grounds. On February 3rd, the court allowed Najib and his family's application to inspect the items currently held in a vault in Bank Negara to help prepare their defence against a 1MDB forfeiture suit. Deputy Public Prosecutor Haris Ong informed the Kuala Lumpur High Court this morning that there is insufficient time to comply with the order for Najib and his family to inspect the items. He said they were informed by Bank Negara yesterday afternoon that the inspection cannot be done today on the issue of security. Bank Negara said that the inspection can only be done on weekends and not weekdays. The judge ordered the prosecution to file the time extension application by today and fix case management for next Monday to fix a hearing date for the matter. Coming up next, the ordeal of those on board a cruise liner suspected of carrying people infected with the coronavirus may be over. You may think you're helping, but spreading fake news is actually pretty bad. All that and more after this. Five countries rejected it, but for those on board the cruise ship MS Westerdam, there may be hope after all. A cruise liner that spent 2 weeks at sea after being turned away from 5 countries over fears that it may spread the coronavirus was allowed to dock in Cambodia yesterday. The MS Westerdam, carrying 1,455 passengers and 802 crew, docked in Sihanoukville in the evening after anchoring offshore early in the morning to allow Cambodian officials to board and collect samples from passengers with any signs of ill health or flu-like symptoms. Cambodia's health ministry said that none of the fluid samples, which had been taken from 20 people and transported by helicopter to the capital Phnom Penh for tests, came back positive for the coronavirus.
On this cruise ship there will be some sick people, but not knowing what kind of illness, and about 20 of them are already isolated. So this morning we have sent our doctors to take their blood test in Pasteur Institute in Phnom Penh by helicopter. Though according to our estimations there may be no one on the ship who has the coronavirus.
It is still not known when passengers will be allowed to travel home, as the ship faces health checks by authorities and passengers need to be taken to Phnom Penh to catch flights. The ship had been turned away by Guam, Japan, the Philippines, Taiwan and Thailand over fears that someone on board could have the flu-like virus. I actually don't understand why people share fake news, and if you're one of those people who do share fake news, please grab a seat because I have an expert who will tell you why you should stop. Fake news, misinformation and inaccurate advice on social media could make disease outbreaks worse, and it could end up costing lives. This is according to a research published on Friday by scientists at Britain's East Anglia University, which analysed how the spread of misinformation affects the spread of diseases. Paul Hunter, a professor of medicine who led the study, said that there has been a lot of speculation, misinformation and fake news circulating on COVID-19. He said this leads to bad advice circulating quickly and can change human behavior to take greater risks, such as the anti-vax movement, which has created a surge in measles cases around the world. According to Hunter, people were more likely to share bad advice on social media than good advice from trusted sources. In their research, Hunter's team found that a 10% reduction in the amount of harmful advice being circulated has a mitigating impact on the severity of an outbreak, and making 20% of the population unable to share harmful advice or immunizing them against fake news has the same positive effect. And here are several other headlines from today. And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTV.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube and Facebook for the latest news updates. I'll see you again next week, same time, same place. I'm Brissel Michael. Thanks for watching. But before we go, it's Valentine's Day for me. That means chocolate. And models in Brussels have taken it to a whole new level with chocolatey fashion.